All right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushai, Bahashem Makakodash, double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, peace and blessings to the elect. Um, Let me share this real quick. I have a video here that I'm going to show you guys. All right, this is I think CBS or so. All right, but I just want you guys to listen to what this what is this epidemiologist. I'm guessing he's a somebody who studies epidemics, so on and so forth. All right, as he speaks about this coronavirus. And yeah, we understand that this mainstream media, they don't come out and tell you the full truth, but they do say certain things, all right, that is good to pay attention to. All right, that's why you, especially now more than ever, got to keep your eyes on the news. All right, you got to watch a little bit from here. All right, you have RT News, Al Jazeera, Zero Head, a lot of all these different news sites that you can, get these articles from. You got people like Dabu who are constantly putting up videos, all right, on things that are happening in the world. This is how you remain on your watchtower, all right, because you're watching. You need to have certain points that you can watch from your watchtower. Certain danger points, so to speak. So metaphorically speaking, that is. So when dealing with this, you have to watch the news. All right, stay tuned, see what's going on, see what's being said, because they will come out and say certain things, all right, that are linked to prophecy. All right, because a lot of the things that they're saying are foreshadowing. Okay, the way it's coming off is not like they've never, like, they don't know what's gonna happen, but they're hoping for the best. No, it's more like we're planning, all right, to make it really bad. That's why we keep telling you, all right, that expect it to get worse. Don't panic, expect it to get worse, because they know how far they want to take it. It's not a matter of, oh, this is brand new, we don't know what's going on, let's just hope for the best. No, it's, we know how bad we're gonna make this situation get. So we're gonna tell you, prepare, because it's gonna get bad, so that is part of the desensitizing process. Making the mind accustomed to these things. But let's get into this video real quick. Hopefully they don't take take my channel down for this. But also breaking news. It says President Trump signs $8.3 billion emergency funding bill to combat coronavirus in the U.S. He said, I asked for 2.5 and I got 8.3, and I'll take it. And then it says here, President Trump on CDC visit cancellation. We may go. They thought there was a problem at CDC with somebody that had the virus. It turned out negative. I may be going, the president adds. That'd be funny, man. You go there, man. All right, but let's play this video real quick.
Worldwide, the coronavirus death toll now tops 3,000, with nearly 90,000 cases. But even those numbers are nothing compared to what could happen in the months ahead. Today, CBS News' Jim Axelrod spoke with one of this country's top experts from Harvard on viruses, who has a startling prediction.
The number that I think is grabbing a lot of people is this estimate: 40 to 70% of the world's adult population could be infected.
Yes.
Accurate?
That is, it's a projection, so we will find out if it's accurate as things go on. It is a best estimate that I've been able to make based on a combination of the mathematical models that we use to track and predict epidemics.
So in terms of addressing the numbers that may get people panicked, what can you tell us?
Well, again, the 40 to 70% is a number a proportion of the population, adult population infected. And we know that some people who get this infection have no or almost no symptoms whatsoever. What we don't know is how many there are like that. So if, say, that's half the people, then the 1% or 2% that we're seeing in the symptomatic people is cut down by half. Whatever the number is, it's going to take a toll. If it really does spread as widely as that projection says, and that's what I think is likely to happen, then there are going to be millions of people dying, and I don't think there's any way to get around that. And
So you heard that right there, right? Let me play it back again.
it's likely to happen. Spread as widely as it's going to be, it's going to take a toll. If it really does spread as widely as that projection says, and that's what I think is likely to happen.
So he's saying that he thinks it's likely that it's going to spread like the projection says. And listen to what he says.
Then there are going to be millions of people dying.
Oh, there are going to be millions of people dying, right? It's not going to be 3,000 people alone. There's going to be millions of people dying, not getting infected, dying. We've been saying this, man. All right. We've been telling you this, all right, over and over and over again, man. And if you really pay attention, it's they're saying it's those who are more in the elderly group are more at risk of getting it. Which, if you were to think of it in terms of, let's say, how the elites are thinking, if they're trying to reduce the population, that would make sense, right? If you're trying to start a new world order, why would you need 70-year-olds and 60-year-olds and all of that? No, you'd rather start with the youth, okay, who are gonna have time to quote unquote grow, and then they're gonna have kids and grow and so on and so forth, you know. So hey, I mean, it's very convenient that, you know, it's wiping out, because look, man, this virus is not gonna be like what people we had an Ebola outbreak, we had a SARS outbreak, and all these different things. Yeah, those happened and could have very well been test runs, but this one is not going to be like that. All right. And the dude is sitting here telling you.
I don't think there's any
he said millions. He said you heard right.
way to get around that. And so I think there's real reason for people to be concerned. I also think that
there's real reason for people to be concerned. Okay? There's real reason for people to be concerned. See, you know, and that's the thing, man. The Most High, the Most High is not playing, because he got these people blinded. I mean, I'm in New York, and you got people in New York who are just lackadaisical about it. You know, you tell them about it, and they're just like, yeah. You know why? It's because they're not well informed. Why? Because they don't care. All they do is they hear the echoes of it. Oh, there's an outbreak. Oh, it's in New York now. I thought it was like 3 people. I thought, oh, okay, whatever. You got people talking about, I'm trying to go to Miami in the spring. I'm like, are you not even thinking of how you're gonna get through March? All right, you know, but it's not a concern on people's minds because they don't see it as a problem. Somebody literally told me, I don't care because it hasn't affected me. You see, but when your family members are dropping dead, all right, and you're being quarantined or you're being locked down and the area you're in has no food and all hell is breaking loose, that's when it's going to affect you. That's when you're going to want to care. You see, because if you don't care, then you're not going to take the necessary measures, all right, to protect yourself or to secure your safety. And if you're not doing that, then by the time shit hits the fan, all right, it's going to be too late for you. You got to care now to seek the Lord. Because then he's not going to be found, man.
Turn that concern into actions that will make the situation better.
The 1% of people who are symptomatic,
Yep, that's right. Ithania Banloya, Psalm 64:8. So they shall make their own tongue to fall upon themselves. All that see them shall exactly, and that's what they're doing. All right, that's what they're doing. You see, on one hand, they're trying to quote unquote avoid this panic and deal with this damage control, but on the other hand, the quote unquote facts are just there. You know,
mortality rate. That's also not just a straight mathematical equation. People over 65 may be more susceptible. People under 30 may be more susceptible, correct?
People less. So the susceptibility to symptomatic infection seems to go up strictly with age, and especially up at the very oldest ages. And among those who are symptomatic, the risk of dying goes up further. So it really is concentrated in.
Now, really check this out, right? You see how they have these doctors and these people wearing all these hazmat suits and stuff like that, taking care of these patients. That's because even now that they haven't tested all these different people, and now that they don't have an influx, all right, of people coming into hospitals like they did in Wuhan, all right, they're talking about they're low on test kits, all right, and they're low on this, and they still don't know this, and such and such and such and such. So really think about it, right? How much equipment do they have to handle a whole state or 2 states or 3 states, all right? Or an influx of people just coming in to where you can't even fit inside the hospital anymore, you know? How many doctors do you think are going to be able to put on these hazmat? Look at all the things they got to go through just to take care of 1 or 2 patients. How much more for all these patients? Okay? And on top of that, what if these doctors start getting infected? Who's going to be doing that? You see? And then things are getting chaotic because people are getting scared. All right?
Those older age groups, the high risk.
So you, who know as much as anybody about this, are using words like if and well, we hope. The fact is, we really just don't know what to expect, do we?
I think we have some bounds on what to expect. I think it is now almost inevitable that this will transmit in a global fashion and take a.
So it's almost you're hearing this, right? It's almost inevitable that this will transmit in a global fashion. All right. So when we come out and we say these things, we've been prior to this outbreak, becoming on the level it is now. We said all this was going to happen. All right. We said it was all going to happen. All right. Because we can see it. It's part of the prophecies, man. We can see the vision. Okay. Yes, we sound crazy, but we can see the future. And by the time you realize that, it's going to be too late for you because people are still in a lackadaisical mindset, as the scripture said they would be. And unfortunate for those who are in that mindset, you're going to get caught up. Okay? You're going to get caught up in it because you're not going to be prepared mentally, spiritually. The scriptures tell you, pursuant to Isaiah 33:6, that wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times. These people don't know a damn thing. They don't even have common sense. All right. So how are you going to be stable? All right. Instead of going out and partying and clubbing and wasting your time, you should be getting rooted and building up your faith and trust in Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. But people don't care about that. That's the last thing on their minds. Because even if things get bad, what are they expecting? Oh, the government is going to give us some solution anyway. They're going to bring a vaccine. That's people's go-to. What the government is going to do. Well, they're going to bring a vaccine. Are they going to do this? That's the last place you want to go. Because the government isn't, and they're not in full control of this. Ultimately, it's the Most High. All right. And people are going to find out the hard way, man.
A big toll on essentially the entire globe. I just don't see any way around that, given the number of places where we know about it and the number of places where we haven't looked, and therefore can infer that some of those places also probably haven't.
When considering preparation, what should people be doing to prepare?
I think there's a reasonable chance that, as in Japan and as in Italy and some other places that have seen more cases, we will have closures of schools. I think there's a reasonable chance that there will be public gatherings will be restricted, either by legal authority, although I think that's less likely, or by voluntary decisions of people.
Hey, well, that's the thing, though. Depending on how bad is getting, they will use legal authority to prevent you from going to certain areas, to prevent you from and that's gonna also bring about on a lower level that a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, a lot of these gatherings, man. You got people wanting to go to concerts and all these. You're trying to travel, all right, to go to a concert. Does that make sense to you right now? You think that's the best thing to do right now? All right, you want to go amongst. Now you got people coming from different parts of different areas to come to this concert here. All right. You don't know who they've come in contact with and they all in one area together, jumping around, screaming, yelling, coughing up, and all of those things, right? People don't think. You see that people don't think, and it's gonna get to the point where panic is gonna set in, and panic and paranoia kills. Why? Because when you panic, you're not thinking right. That's why stability. That's why the scriptures emphasize that in Isaiah 33:6. Stability is a very good thing. If you're stable, you can think right. If you can't think, you can't act. If you can't act, you die. All right. In the times we're coming into, you're gonna need to be able to think quick. You're gonna need to be able to think right. And you're going to need to be able to think quick. All right. These people they're not going to be able to do that because they can't even assess the situation correctly. You need to be, and the only reason we're going to be able to do that is by the spirit and power of Yahweh Hashem Yahushai. The Lord is going to literally guide us. All right. Where to go, what to do, what decisions to make. You know, and you're going to need to be able to make split-second decisions under pressure. You know, do we go this way? Do we not? You know, all that comes into place. But if you don't have a calm, rational, stable mind, you won't be able to do that. The only thing going through your mind is sorry, not even the only thing, but you're going to have an influx of thoughts all at once. You know, what do we do? What's going on? Where's my family? Where's my woman, my daughter, my child? I'm hungry. Am I going to die? Like, you know, all these things, you can't even utter it all out at once. But it's all going through your mind, and then your brain is going to crash because you have all these different thoughts just running up and down in your head, and you can't arrange them. You can't even formulate a question, you know? So you're going to see people just crying, losing it. They don't know what's going on. All right. On top of that, fear is going to set in and uncertainty. Okay. We're only in the beginning phases of this, man. This is just the beginning stages. Just like Yahweh Shai said, these are the beginning of sorrows. Okay, and boy, these people are gonna sorrow.
That includes church services. That includes other forms of gathering in large groups. In terms of making things better and preparing, I think one thing we can do is for business owners and those who are in charge of workplaces to make it easier for people to stay home if they're sick. One suggestion is to not count sick days during this pandemic. And on the individual level, that also means preparing oneself to stay.
Yeah, you got to think about that too, man. A lot of people going to lose their jobs. All right. A lot of people going to lose their jobs because this is going to affect the economy. That means the economy is not doing well. Job cuts are coming. Okay. On top of that, if your job gets closed down because of somebody having the virus there, you're going to be out of a job. All right. You're going to be out of a job. Now, are they going to put in measurements and things in place for people who can't work, meaning they can't pay their bills? Or are they still going to come and tell you is the first where the money at? You know, are they going to come out and say, well, for those of you who can't pay your bills and because of this virus, you're not able to pay your here it is. We have shelters for you. We have concentration camps and FEMA shelters for those who need it. You know, they could do that, but you got to think about it, man. This is going to affect your job as well. What if you get sick and you can't go to work? You still got to pay bills. You still got to buy food. You still need money, don't you? You know, have people thought about that? No.
Stay home when sick in order to help prevent transmission to others.
I heard some people over the weekend just anecdotally say, oh, SARS was supposed to be bad. Bird flu was supposed to be bad. The 2009 flu was supposed to be bad, and it wasn't. I'm not going to subscribe to the sky is falling, and this isn't going to be that bad. You're saying, time out. This actually is qualitatively different.
This is qualitatively different from SARS and MERS in the sense that it is 10 times bigger than SARS already, or more, or about 10 times bigger than SARS. And it is way more widespread, and it's clearly not under control in the way that SARS was at this point or near this point.
And for people trying to get their arms around this right now, I think it's a worthwhile question to ask you. Is this coronavirus an existential threat?
This is not an existential threat. This is qualitatively, it's very much like a bad pandemic of influenza, which we experienced arguably twice or three times in the 20th century. It's worse than the one that we experienced in 2009. But none of those brought civilization close to its knees. They made things awful for a while.
And this won't either.
And this will not either.
Jim
not
Axelrod, CBS News, Boston.
Yeah, well, that's where you go wrong. See, I mean, they can only tell you so much. All right, but as the scriptures say, man, the Lord's going to destroy the wise men out of Edom. All these people you rely on for answers and for certainty, you're gonna start seeing that they can only tell you so much. You know, they can tell you how bad it's gonna get, what's going on, but then they always, turn it around and say, yeah, but it's not gonna be as bad as civilization bringing it down to its knees. Oh, yes, it will. Yes, it will. So let's get into some scriptures. I have 3 scriptures here. This is 2 Ezra 16, start at verse 14. It says, behold, the plagues are sent. All right. And what are plagues? An example of those plagues are the coronavirus, man. Hey, in Zechariah, the 12th chapter, it refers to the missiles as plagues. All right. So these plagues and these judgments, the Lord has sent them. Now let's see what it says. It says, and shall not return again until they come upon the earth. What does that sound like? It sounds like the scripture that says, the Lord's word does not return unto him void. All right, but it will accomplish that which he sent it out to. So these plagues that the Lord sent, they're not gonna stop, or you're not gonna fix it and turn it around. No, these plagues didn't come out of nowhere, regardless of whether they were created in a lab or not. The Lord sent them. And why did he send these plagues? As a means of judgment. So they're gonna what? They're gonna come upon the earth, and they're gonna fulfill what they've been sent to do, which is to judge, which is to put people to death. All right. The fire is kindled and shall not be put out till it consume the foundation of the earth. Like as an arrow, so like it's about to tell you, going into these missiles as well, because the scriptures compare, all right, these nuclear missiles also to arrows. Okay. And like I said, that is also one of the plagues. Read Zechariah, the 12th chapter. All right. I believe it's 14 verse 12 or 12 verse 14. You can double check that. It says, like as an arrow which is shot of a mighty archer returneth not backwards, because ain't no way. Let's say the Hulk grabbed a freaking bow and arrow and stretched that and shot it. The arrow's not going to do a U-turn and come back to Hulk. No, it's going to go, and it's going to go with speed to wherever he shot it to. So it says, even so, the plagues that shall be sent upon the earth shall not return again. So if somebody standing in front of you, a professional archer standing in front of you, and they stretch that bow and they release it, you're almost certain that that bow is about to hit you in a matter of seconds or less. So these plagues being sent, you better understand that they're certainly sent, all right, to do the damage, man. Okay, because the same chances that an arrow that's being shot has of doing a U-turn and hitting the person who shot it, you see how that doesn't happen. So that means these plagues that are sent out, they're not going to do a U-turn and your life is going to go back to normal and you're just going to be good. And no, it's not how it's going to work. Woe is me who will deliver me in those days. So Ezra saw all the calamities and how bad it got. Pursuant to Jeremiah 30 verse 7, it says it's going to be a time like never before. So even Ezra was scared. All right. Now he understood that through reincarnation, he was going to be here in these days. That's why he said, who's going to deliver him? All right. Because that's how bad it's going to get. It says the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. Key word, the beginning of sorrows and great mournings. We're in the beginning stages, man. I was trying to say phase and stages at the same time. We're in the beginning stages. People don't understand. They don't see how bad it's going to get. You see, so they probably think that, this is just something like, this is just the beginning. But what they don't understand is that it's going to get worse. Okay? It says the beginning of famine and great death, and we can see how this can bring that about. The beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear. The beginning of evils, what shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment, but for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of their scourges. These people don't understand that the reason the judgment is coming is because of their wickedness. All right. And so they're going to keep continuing the wickedness till they get hit with the judgment. All right. This is Luke 17, verse 26. And as it was in the days of Noah, so it says Noe, but we know it's talking about Noah. So shall it be also in the days of the Son of Man. They did eat, they drank, they married wives, they were given in marriage until the day that Noah entered into the ark. Because that's when they realized, oh, this is more serious than we thought. But what happened? And the flood came and destroyed them all. So just like the news reporter was asking to do, he said, look, I heard people say, oh, we had SARS, we had all these other outbreaks and, you know, Ebola and all these different things. And, you know, it's not that bad. So I'm going to just keep living my life because we got through that. So, you know, so on and so forth. Guess what? You're going to keep living your life until you get hit and realize by the time you realize how serious it is, you're going to end up getting caught up in it. And even on the lower level, that so-called epidemiologist said the same thing. He told, oh, yeah, it's bad, but it's not going to bring civilization to its knees. Oh, you're going to see a different side of civilization. It's not going to be civilized. All right. And that's what these elites are banking on. All right. Because they're gonna try to bring that civil order. Okay. That's all I wanted to read on that. So I'm going to go here to this last precept. Let me close this. This is Habakkuk 2, verse 2. Matter of fact, I start at verse 1. It says, I will stand upon my watch and set me upon the tower and will watch to see what he will say unto me and what I shall answer when I am reproved. And how is the Lord speaking? He's speaking to us by these prophecies. Okay. So we have to, that's why I titled it Watch the News, because the news also informs you. All right. Now we have the ability to know what's going on around the world from just your smartphone or your computer or your TV. Okay. And in a matter of seconds of something happening, you can already find out about it. You know, so hey, there's certain apps, breaking news apps that will notify you. All right, when things are happening, man. That's how you're being a good watchman. You're watching these things and then you're prophesying. Because if a watchman sees danger coming, he's not going to say, okay, well, I've seen it, so I know the danger's coming. I'm just gonna no. You know and you see the danger's coming, so you can warn the people. That's the reason you're put up there. All right. Verse 2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, that he may run that readeth it. All right, because back then they had like parchment and stuff, but they didn't get like a book or a computer and type things up or write on like how we write now. No, you had certain writing tables, okay, that you would write things on as well. All right. As a matter of fact, let me go to this real quick. Let's see. I think this is Luke 1, verse. Okay. All right, this is Luke 1, verse. Let's go to 59. This is when John the Baptist was born. All right. It says, and it came to pass that on the 8th day, they came to circumcise the child. Yes, and they circumcised. And there's a reason the Lord said circumcise your children on the 8th day. All right. Because if you were to circumcise your child on any day prior to that, they will bleed out and die. All right. Because there's your blood, there's a certain, I forgot the name of it. But as the child is developing and still growing, there's a certain element that clots the blood. So when you get cut, you don't just gush out and bleed and die. Okay. And on the 8th day, with that element within the body, all right, is ideal for the child to be able to be circumcised, because you're cutting, okay, so that the child doesn't bleed out and die. So there's the reason the Lord said do it on the 8th day, not on the 7th, not on the 6th. All right. So they came to circumcise the child. This is talking about John the Baptist, and they called him Zacharias, which in the Hebrew is Zachariah. All right. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's what my power has remembered. All right. Let's get that, because Zakar means what? To remember. All right, remembered of Yahweh. Okay. Do they have a Hebrew origin? Yep, Hebrew origin right here. All right. Zakaria, right there. Yahweh remembers. All right. You have the Yah at the end. All right. For sure for Yahweh, and Zakar means to remember. Okay. So Zakaria, my power is remembered. So let's go back. So it says, so they were gonna name John the Baptist after his father. All right, Zachariah. Okay. It says, and they called him Zacharias or Zachariah after the name of his father. Because remember, at this point, Zachariah was his father was couldn't speak. All right, because of what the angel. When you read up in the chapter, it'll tell you when the angel came to him and told him what was going to happen. He was asking, well, how am I going to know this is happening? I'm old. You know what I mean? Angel was like, yo, I'm in the presence of the Most High, and I'm coming and telling you what's going to happen. And you going not believe me? All right, cool. So I'm going to make sure you can't speak. And when it happens, then you're going to be able to speak. Maybe then you understand what I'm trying to say. Hey, and that shows that these angels are rough, man. They come straight to business, man. All right. They don't come for tea talks. It says, and his mother answered and said, not so, but he shall be called John. All right. Which means grace. All right. Let's get into that. That's what Yachanan. Yep, they have the Hebrew origin here. So, hey, for some of these names, they're originally in the Hebrew. That's why you have the Hebrew origin in the root over here. All right. But some other names or some other words, when you're reading in the New Testament, all it'll take you back to is the Greek. All right. Okay, it says, oh yeah, Yahweh has graced Yah or Yah-Chanan. All right. Chanan meaning grace, and then the Yah, all right, going back to Yahweh. So Yahweh has grace. Okay, because keep in mind, there are no J's in the Hebrew language. So when you're saying John, all right, in the Hebrew, he wasn't called John. All right. So let's keep going. And I'm gonna come back to Habakkuk. All right, but let's keep going. His name shall be called John or Yachanan. And they said unto her, there is none of thy kindred that is called by his name, because they would name you after your people in your family. You know, that was like the custom. So they're saying, well, ain't nobody called John or Yachanan in your family, you know, but you say you want to call him John. It says, and they made signs to his father how he would have him called. Because remember, his father couldn't speak, you know, so they were speaking to him with signs, all right, and gestures to see, okay, what you want, what do you want him to be called? It says, and he asking for a writing table. Okay, now it's not like an actual table that we have here that you know what I mean, you put stuff on. No, it's like a tablet, all right, that you write, and the writings come in it. All right, I don't know how to explain it to the fullest, but you get the point. So it says, and he asked for a writing table and wrote, saying his name is John, and they marveled all. It says, and his mouth is open immediately, and his tongue loosed, and he spake and praised the Most High. Yeah, so that's basically it right there. Oh, as a matter of fact, yeah, that's basically it right there. Okay, so I'm going to go back to Habakkuk. So the Lord said what? And Habakkuk 2:2, and the Lord answered me and said, write the vision and make it plain upon tables, okay, that he may run that readeth it. So that's a writing table, okay, that he may run that readeth it, meaning what? When you read it, okay, like us, when we read these scriptures and we get the understanding, we're quick to what? Quick to go in. When you first come into the truth, and you hear about it, what's one of the first few things you want to do? You want to tell your mom, you want to tell your woman, you want to tell your friends. All right, you're quick, you're running, not literally, but you're quick to go and go let it be known. All right, shoot, we Israelites, we got chosen people, and the Americans going, you know, you probably saying all these different things at once that they probably like, calm down, I can't understand what you're trying to say. Okay, and also likewise, when we see things happen, like prophetic things happening, we're quick to do videos on it, you know, because it's in our spirit. It's in our spirit to just to do so. It's like a reaction. All right. Verse 3, For the vision is yet for an appointed time, but at the end it shall speak and not lie. So what does this tell us? This tells us that when the vision is speaking, that means we're in the end. And what is one of those visions? These plagues. All right. It says, and not lie, though it tarry, wait for it, because it will come. It will surely come. It will not tarry. Okay. And so these plagues and these things that are happening upon the earth, we understand is just the beginning of sorrows, because there's more to come. Okay. There's more to come. I'll finish it with verse 4. Behold, his soul, which is lifted up, is not right in him, talking about Esau. Okay. And that's why they have no problem just decreasing the population like that. They're heartless. They don't care about you. For all they care, you could catch the virus and die with your whole family. They don't care. As long as they get what they want, their agenda, you are of no relevance to them. It says, but the just shall live by his faith, because in the times we're coming in, you're going to need your faith to live. All you're going to have to go off of is your faith. All right. It's going to be a lot of uncertainty. So what you're going to have to go off of is your faith, man. Okay. And so that's why now is the time to be building it up. Now is the time, all right, to build up your faith, man. Build up your spirit. Pray to the Lord to bless you with a strong spirit, man. All right, to be able to go through the times that we're coming into, man. All right, so yeah, so that's basically it. Okay, just wanted to bring that out real quick, man. Now's the time. You want to make sure that you're watching the news. All right, you're being occupied in prophecy, so you don't get caught slipping, man, and remaining in prayer. Okay, so with that, I hope this was edifying unto the elect. Once again, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. Until next time, Shalom.